That's nice.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen from all over the world. It is your boy, Kurt, aka Hendo.
And this is Jakari. We're back with another Runway Boys TV. Today we'll be talking to our boy Scotty C. He's out in Bangkok, Thailand right now. We'll be talking about the differences in living out in Thailand as an expat. So let's get into it. How you doing today, Scotty?
I'm doing great, man. Glad to be on here. Glad to see you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's always good to see you, man. I'm glad to see your growth and see what's going on with you over in Thailand. I know you don't post as much as many people do on social media, but when I do see you pop up, it's always something that, you know, most people in the United States don't get the chance to do. So let's get back. Let's just get right into it when we don't talk about Thailand. What's the current state of Thailand?
Current state of Thailand, man. Like right now, we might be going into a lockdown. There's like 36,000 cases, like 97 deaths. But this third wave, man, this UK variant hit us hard. We were doing really well up until like the beginning of April when the Thai government transitioned from like 14 days of ASQ to 10. But for the most part, like Thailand.
I'm sorry. What's ASQ? Before we, what is that?
It's just like self quarantine.
Okay.
But the one thing is really interesting is like even though we're out here in Southeast Asia, the first and second wave, man, like it didn't really affect us a whole lot. Like there were a lot of restrictions in place and lockdown, but the Thai government really responded quite well to it. And they're trying to get ahead of it as much as possible this time, but we're coming back from a long holiday, so we'll see what goes on.
Prayers for all the people over there. Prayers for all the Thai people and everybody over there.
Yeah, for real.
We're just starting to roll out vaccines over here. Are y'all getting vaccines over there? Is it pretty robust with the system? How's the system, like the health system and medical system?
Well, the public health system here it's all right. Private systems out here are pretty dope. As far as vaccines, there's two main types that are here, and one is the AstraZeneca, and it's actually you're starting to produce AstraZeneca here in country, and then the other one is Sinovac, the Chinese version. I think we've vaccinated about 550 to 600,000 people, so less than 1% of the population. So,
oh man,
yeah, they still got a ways to go.
They still got a ways to go, and the way that they've been really proactive is in locking people down, ensuring that everywhere has temperature checks, everybody has their masks on, and hand sanitizing stations all over, man.
So when are you expecting, or when is the outlook, or when do you see Thailand opening up for, let's say, Westerners?
Well, they've already started opening up towards Westerners. It's more difficult to get visas now, but predominantly they're opening up the market towards Chinese tourism. Like tourism from China is about 40 to 45% of the tourist population that comes in country, which is like 13% of GDP, man. It's huge. So the Thai government's really kowtowed to the Chinese tourist industry to bring more people in. As far as Westerners, there are some that are traveling, especially when we had that lull between the second and third wave. But for the most part, it's still going through the ASQ, and the cost to get into the country is quite high at the moment.
So basically, as of right now, it's probably not worth it for somebody from America to take that 27-hour flight and go over there and go through all that.
Ooh, that flight.
Nah, I mean, unless you have a few months, so that you can get through ASQ and then actually enjoy the country, then maybe. But if you're only on short holiday, nah, man, it ain't worth it. Not right now, at least. Like you're going to be paying astronomical fees to stay in the government assigned hotels. And then,
are they even letting people in? They letting people in?
Yeah, they're letting people in. Not nearly as much. It's not open doors.
Okay.
It's more difficult to get visas now, but you still got to go through 10 days of quarantine, and you can only stay in like government assigned hotels, which are they range from anywhere from like 1,000 up for costs.
Okay, man. Here in America, there's a big thing going on, and a lot of people are preaching about Asian hate. A lot of people are angry about the situation in the world. They want to blame Asian people incorrectly, might I say, but they want to blame them. And I want to know from somebody who's living in an Asian country, is that you find the same thing there? Do you find tourists or I don't even know if tourists are really there now, but like expats and other people foreign to the country are treating them ill or anything like that going on over there on that side of the country that y'all see?
I mean, you bring up a really good point. And it's something that's, it's predominant in America right now because of the rhetoric, but it happens worldwide.
Okay.
I think hate crimes affect every country. Like there's no part of the world that's not affected by it. And it's a travesty to think, we're in the 21st century and still facing these issues.
Yep.
But with that being said, to answer your question, yeah, there are the approach that the Thai government and some of the older Thai people have towards foreigners can be a bit brash. Now, when COVID first happened, the Ministry of Health, the department head of the Ministry of Health actually got in trouble because he said, because there were foreigners that weren't wearing the masks, and understandably, like he wants to crack down on that.
Yeah.
But he came out and said, like, damn those foreigners, they should all get kicked out of the country and go back.
Oh, yeah, that probably started it.
So yeah, like it started this whole thing. But if you have government officials coming out with that type of rhetoric, and I mean we see this in America as well, then the nationalists they're going to feed into that, and they play into those that narrative. So since COVID started, my experience as a foreigner has been it's been interesting. Like I get looks everywhere that I go. If I cough, even if I have like something in my throat, if I cough, literally, like I've been in public areas and people will just disperse.
Oh,
What?
It's kind of like it's just a xenophobia thing. They just don't like foreign. Like here, I would say the Asians aren't foreigners, but they're not the majority. So they're kind of saying it's your fault. Over there, they're saying, you're a foreigner to their country. So no, it's your fault.
Your
You're
fault.
The one coughing. You know what I'm saying? And when you come in, if we go to Mexico, they come in, we cough. They're probably like, hey, you're the problem. You know what I'm saying? It's always somebody else's
problem. Somebody else is bringing it into our country.
Problem, man.
Yeah. But I mean, that's something that you're going to find everywhere you go is if a group has another group that they can say, well, this is the cause, and it's a sense of unity for them. Like they can unify under a common enemy. And that type of mentality is, what leads us to these 20-year-long wars that we are in, man.
Yeah. It's always somebody else's fault. You are the cause of this. It's not us. Yeah. And that's what ends up happening. So, I mean, as far as your day-to-day life, is this something that is this something new? Like just because of COVID, people are starting to look at you like that? Or is your day-to-day life as an expat, is it always like that? People are looking at you because you are a Westerner?
Yeah.
Has it always been like that?
Short answer is yes. Like, it's been like that since I first came here. So being a foreigner in this country, like Thai people are so welcoming. They're so kind. And if you even try to speak a little bit of the local language, they're so encouraging. Like, I often tell this, and like, I love Dutch people, don't get me wrong, But when I was living in the Netherlands, I tried to learn Dutch, and every time I spoke Dutch at a cafe or a restaurant or to like people that I was meeting, they would respond in English and just say, "You're butchering our language. It's easier just to communicate in English." Whereas like in Thailand, you even just say a couple words and they're so excited, man. Like it's just really encouraging for the locals. But yeah, as an expat here in the country, like you're looked at as though you're on a different level. And in a lot of ways, systemically, you're treated as if you're on a different level of a level of higher status. And that's frustrating in many regards because it does give this sense of thinking around, oh, well, if the government's going to treat them, better than their locals, then, maybe they are the enemies in some way. And it kind of fuels a negative, but also positive narrative. There's definitely two sides to that coin.
Right. Are you able to own property over there as a foreigner?
No.
Okay.
No, you can't.
Any questions?
It's the short answer is no. It has to be 51% owned by Thai. You can own property if it's like a condo, but you can't.
Okay,
own
so
land.
real estate, so if you wanted to get like a seasonal property, you can just, I'm pretty sure $40,000 you can get something in Thailand, like even a studio or something. So you can buy that straight out and then come back every 6 months and have no problem.
Yeah, kind of like there's still a lot of gray areas. Now, as a foreigner, you can come in here and you could buy a condo, but you have to go through Thai organizations in order to do this, because there is a lot of nepotism that goes on in the country, and a lot of what you're going to be paying into will be fines that you won't find in other countries. Or fees that you won't find in other countries.
So basically, the government gonna get they want to get broke off. They want their piece.
Yep.
I totally get it. So how is life working there? I know you work on the economy, so how is that working with the Thai people?
Yeah, like I've been really lucky in that regard. Like I've worked in a few different industries. So after I graduated uni, I was working in a dual diagnosis rehab facility with substance abuse, working with a wide array of demographics. And then I transitioned to working as a behavioral therapist, working with students or kids who are on the autism spectrum. And now I'm at an international school. So I've seen a pretty wide array, working with a local organization, working with a massive international organization. Working as an expat here in the country, it's cush, man. Like it's so nice. You, especially with the international community, there are some things to be cognizant of when you come into the country. And just some like helpful hints. If you're going to apply to work into the country, make sure you get an expat deal. So have them bring you into the country. Don't come into the country and then find a job. The reason for it is because if you come into the country, then you can be considered a local hire, and the benefits, the salary, the packages that you get are much less than you would as an expat being brought into the country.
Okay, so is this, when you say brought into the country, is that an American company or a Thai company?
Either. So if there's an organization that works or that is headhunting outside of the country, and you have a set of skills that they want, if they relocate you to the country, then most likely you'd be put on an expat deal. Whereas if you're living in country, then you'll get that local hire shit.
Okay. So. All right. So go ahead.
What's the difference between an expat deal and if you just What's gonna be the difference, the biggest difference?
The biggest difference, you're gonna have a massive salary difference.
Okay.
You'll also, there's different tiers of healthcare that you'll experience, from an expat deal to a local hire deal to even a Thai individual, so a Thai national. Those are all on different tiers here, which it's frustrating as an expat when you have local nationals who are amazing workers, but they're getting underpaid and underappreciated by organizations. It's frustrating.
Our next question would be, moving from America. Let me start here. What's your background? Where were you born at in America?
But yeah, I grew up in Indiana, played a lot of sports, then joined the military. I met Kurt,
Okay.
homeboy over there.
What branch were you in?
Air Force. I was in the Air Force for 6 years, stationed in Kansas, the UK, and then 3 deployments and a multitude of TDYs.
Okay, is that what got you wanting to move to Thailand, or what first got you interested? Like, I want to move here.
Yeah, so the military is really what sparked like the whole travel bug. Like when I moved to the UK, I started backpacking everywhere. Like I'd stopped drinking, so all that free time and money that freed up.
Yeah.
Ooh, I was going all the time. Like if we had a 3-day weekend, I was somewhere in Europe. Like I was gone.
Yeah, nice.
Wherever the cheapest flights were. But after I got out of the military, like I was studying in the Netherlands, studying psychology in the Netherlands, and did a study abroad here in Thailand. I just fell in love with the country, man. Fell in love with the people, and the opportunities. Like Southeast Asia is definitely on the rise as far as developing nations, and seeing, like studying psychology and seeing the level of mental health awareness in Thailand, like it just really sparked something inside of me to say, hey, I could make a difference here. I could help, and just pursuing that as much as possible. So after my study abroad, I went back to the Netherlands for a semester, and then I moved back out here permanently. So I've been out here for over 5 years, and man, I love it every day. Like this, the country, the people, it's an amazing and very unique place. Like it's something that, it's one of those places that you try to tell your friends about, and then it doesn't
click.
It just doesn't translate like how unique this place is. But then like I had family come and visit, and they were like, man, Scotty, we get it. Like I understand why you love it here now.
Yeah.
This is a unique but an amazing place. Like all the stereotypes that this country has, like there's so much more to this place than just that stereotypical perception of what Thailand is.
Oh yeah, we went down there. We spent a day on Walking Street, and it was like, all right, that was cool. Let's get back to everything else it has to offer. It's like Thailand.
I think a lot of Americans think that if you were to say in 2021, if you were to talk to some Americans and say, what do you think about Bangkok? The first thing they're going to say is the Hangover movie.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to think like the crazy stuff. Now, can you get in like during pre-COVID? Could you get into crazy stuff that happened on the Hangover movie? Not to that extreme, but something damn near similar. You could get into stuff like that. But
you can do anything you want.
You can do anything you want in Thailand. I call Thailand the world's biggest carnival, because like any kind of like entertainment you want, you can do, but it also has some dope culture, man. Like, and it's so cheap to move around, man. Oh my God.
Yeah. And for me, that's the best part about it, man. Just like the opportunity to travel. If I'm living in Bangkok, and if I want to go to some of the best beaches in the world, man, it's a short bus ride. It's a short flight. Like, if I want to go on
that bus, man,
just fucking go up north. If I want to go and hang out with, the Akha tribes or the Karen Longneck tribes, like you have opportunities to go and be a part of those cultures. Like where else in the world can you do that?
Yeah.
It's here, man.
Yeah, I saw the I went up to I don't think they had any of the long neck women out. They might have had like one or two, but I went up north to what's Chiang Mai.
Mm.
And I went to was it Doi Sutep or something like that up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where they had like a village up there, and I went up there by myself on a tour. It was a group, but I went up there solo. I was in Chiang Mai solo, and
Nice.
it was like some like a shanty town, like something that you would see on the movies. It's like these tin houses and stuff, and you go through the village, and people are selling stuff, and it's just crazy, man. Man, Thailand is dope. Like, so if anybody that's watching this video considers traveling to Thailand, they need to do it. I really think everybody should do Thailand one time in their life. I really do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and even where you're talking about Doi Sutep, so they have you can either take like the tuk-tuk up or take like one of the vans all the way up.
Yeah,
or they also have they have what's called a monk's trail, and the monk's trail is like a 3-hour hike to midpoint, and then I think it's like another 2 hours up to Doi Sutep, and it like you're just trekking through the jungle more or less with like spiders that are like this fucking big, just chilling up on your head. Like it's insane, and you get about halfway up there, and there's this gorgeous hidden temple that is just embedded in the mountain, man. And like you can't see that anywhere else. It's so cool.
And in the view up there, man. Oh my God. I'm probably going to run during it while we're talking about this. Probably going to run some video of that. Yeah, man. That's pretty dope. Yeah, man. So as far as let's get back, we kind of got a little bit off topic, just a little bit. So we're gonna bring it back in. So what are some of your hobbies as far as what are you doing on a daily basis, or what are your hobbies that you like?
Yeah, so one of my biggest hobbies is wakeboarding. As you can see, I got wakeboards, snowboards all around my apartment. But out here in Thailand, like you can wakeboard year round. And one of the cool things about wakeboarding is that like you're in a centralized location. So 6 months out of the year, you have all of the pros that fly to Southeast Asia, and you can ride with some of the best riders in the world, man. And for the most part, they're all super chill and really cool. Some other hobbies that I have, like trekking, hiking, there's loads of that to do out here. Going to different cafes, like there's so many restaurants and cafes just in Bangkok. You could eat at a different place, breakfast, lunch, and dinner all year and not hit the same place twice, man. It's insane. They have such a wide array from like 5-star, like Michelin starred street food. I think there's this one lady who's like a 1 or 2 Michelin star who has a bomb ass street food, man. But then you also have like top tier 12-course meal places that you can go. Like it's insane. But that's Thailand. You have such a massive
wild array of everything you want, man. Everything.
Anything you want, you can get done in Thailand pretty much. Yeah. So as far as living conditions, as far as, you know, how let me see how I can say this. If I wanted to live a life equivalent to a middle-class lifestyle in America, let me see, 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, nice area. What are we looking at? What are we talking about on price wise?
I mean, you're looking at about 500, 600, and that's rent, utilities, Wi-Fi, cell phone, like bills paid, six to 650 out the door. Like, and I mean, I got a 2-bedroom, 1-bath place, and it's pretty good, man. Like I live here alone. And I'm a little further outside of the city. Like 5 MRT stops from the main part of the central city. But man, it's so easy to get around. Public transportation, trains are everywhere. Motorbikes are like easy to access. Taxis fucking everywhere, man. But I love it. So for a middle class lifestyle out here, man, you're looking at $1,000 to $1,500 a month, and that's if you're spending, you know, a fair bit on your entertainment side.
Yeah, so that you said, so you're saying 600 for your essentials, and then you're giving yourself another $900 for entertainment, bro. Yeah, you are
living good.
you doing a lot.
If you want, man, that's one of the cool things about here is like with that 900, you could do anything. Like I wakeboard every single weekend. I play softball and a few other sports, like jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and all that shit. But this is a great place if you want to save money, man. If you want to stack that bank account, come to fucking Thailand, because you can live cheap. And anything extra that you have, man, just throw that in savings. Throw it in savings. And it's a great place to, you know, build, to invest, and to build for your retirement, man. So
I know you don't. We don't want to get too personal, but just give us a little quick, little preview of like your living room. See what you see. And I want the viewers to see the view. You know, everything you get. You said so. Basically, let's just say. We're just gonna say on his $1,500 a month, this is how we living.
Oh, this is under 15, man. This is like 600.
Okay. So with $1,500, this is what you can get. Yeah. For sure.
For sure, man. So here's the kitchen area, and this is all open. Kitchen area, bathroom, main bedroom, guest bedroom, living room area, entertainment, TV, shelves.
Good, man.
I mean, I have a beautiful view from all three.
Yeah, I can see
get a little closer. Get a little closer.
Oh man, nice and high rise.
Oh man,
and the rent is not $1,500. That's the monthly with everything. That's
everything included. That's
$900 entertainment. Man, in Virginia, that's the rent. $1,500. That's the rent.
Yeah, man. I pay like $500 in rent a month, and then another $100 or so in bills.
And then, so with your wakeboarding hobby and everything, I would imagine that's not something that on the entire economy they would consider cheap. So how much you paying a session for wakeboarding?
Well, I get packages, so it minimizes the cost, but usually you're looking at probably about 1,200 baht, which is roughly 40 or $50 for all day.
It's $40 all day.
Yeah, man.
I know nothing about wakeboarding. I'm pretty sure that's cheap.
Yeah, I know, right?
You go to the States and that shit's so expensive.
That should probably be like an hour.
Shoot. That's crazy.
Yeah, like when I was living in the UK, I was traveling like 30-40 minutes, which is about what I travel now, to the wake park. And then for a 30-minute session, I was paying like 45 pounds, which is
pounds too.
Yeah, which is equivalent to like $55-$60.
Yeah, about $55-$60. Jeez.
Like, and here you get all day, and that would include like all your equipment if you didn't have it. But
that's equipment included for 40.
Yeah, $40-$50. But like when I do my packages, so you can do packages and you only pay $20 a day, man. $20 for all day riding.
I mean, $20 a day. I mean, you're not gonna wakeboard every day. So let's say you do 2 sessions a week.
Yeah.
Through the
Friday,
month.
Saturday, Sunday.
You talk about like 160 for entertainment, for your main entertainment. If that's your main hobby, you're gonna pay like 160 a month. That's crazy.
Man.
The
That's
thing is, like,
crazy.
you'd actually be paying more in travel costs than you are in entertainment. Like the majority of my money goes to public transportation and food.
What about Uber? Do you use Uber out there or what? How does that
They
work?
don't have Uber here. They have Grab, and they have Bolt are their
Okay.
two main servers. But Grab out here, I mean, everybody uses it for food, for grocery delivery, transportation. Like, it's shot through the roof during COVID, man.
Okay. Yeah, I'd imagine so because everybody's at home, so they want to do all the
Yeah.
delivery stuff. I think I was
Yeah.
there when Grab was there. I don't remember Bolt, but I think I was there when Grab had maybe started, or maybe I don't know.
And what would you say the biggest change is living in United States or even other European countries and then coming over to Thailand? Well, not just financially, but just like culture-wise, what was the biggest change?
I had that question too.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a great question. Because there's such a massive change in culture, because you're going from the Western world where you can read signs and understand people to coming somewhere where there's the language out here is artwork, man. Like it's a beautiful language, but it's so hard to read.
Yeah.
I think like the biggest change for me is probably the concept of money. It sounds odd, but here like 1,000 baht is commonplace, and like you it's kind of like Monopoly money, man. Like
hearing that number 1,000. Oh, wait a minute, it's $10.
500,000. Like you're like 1,000 baht. Like what's this? No, but it's around like $35. 30.
Okay, for 1,000 baht. Yeah. I was divided by 3. Yep, I remember. Okay, it's coming back to me now.
So it takes a little while for you to like get used to that that conversion. But the same thing happened when I was living in the UK, like getting used to the British pound, or when I was living in the Netherlands and getting used to the euro. It's all just a matter of practicing and understanding it. But yeah, I think cultural wise and the language are some of the biggest challenges that I faced coming into Thailand. Okay. But again, coming back to the Thai people, they're so homely and so welcoming.
Yeah.
Like, the hospitality here is tremendous. You go, like, just to hit on the hospitality, you go to a local store, like a Walmart or some shit. We don't have them here, but just a comparison for the Western world. They have like Tesco Lotus, and they have Big C and a few others. But you go there and there's somebody standing at almost every single aisle waiting to see if you need help.
Oh, wow.
Like, you don't get that type of
hospitality.
And granted, not all of them speak English, but if you have a picture and you're like, do you know what this is? Can I find this? They help you, man. And if they don't know, they'll like send you to the person that does. So hospitality is just tremendous here.
That's dope. Yeah. Well, I remember when I was there, it was almost like a pride thing for them to, help you out, or for them to think for you to think good of them. You remember when we were in Patong, I think. Were we in Patong and we had the lady Tanya at the hotel?
Yeah.
She made sure, I don't know, you probably still had a photo somewhere, but she made sure from the time we stepped foot in that hotel until the time we left, that everything was taken care of. Yep. And I just thought, like, she remembered our names. It was and that hotel was huge, and she was just like, oh, Curtis, Jakari, hey, happy every day.
Every day. What do you need? Hey, we're going to go eat. Oh, well, what you need to do is go here. Make sure you don't go over this street. Then like every day.
So it's like a pride thing. It's part of the culture hospitality, you know what I'm saying? So as you have experienced this, would you come back to the United States?
Ooh, I've been getting this question a lot, especially lately. Well, actually, in the last 4 years, would I go back to the United States? And ubiquitously, my answer is always no.
Get this. I'm out.
The only way that I go back to the US is for education, man. Like, I'd go back for my master's, but I'm not staying there. Like, I'm not staying there long term, man.
Would you go back to Thailand, or would you try somewhere else new?
I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I have a network of friends here that I really enjoy spending time with, and I think with the networking that I've been able to do, long term, I see possibilities of helping to raise awareness around mental health. So it's hard to say, man. Like, there's so many opportunities in Southeast Asia to, again, coming back to mental health, just to be able to raise awareness and help educate the masses. But there's, like, all that groundwork's already been laid in the Western world. So it's a matter of, like, do I want to help build a foundation of understanding, or do I want to further our current knowledge base? So that's kind of the crossroads that I'm at. But when I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, look, I'll tell you this. You ain't missing much.
Ain't not a
What's
thing,
going
man.
on? You ain't missing much. I just hope for the Thai people, because of their hospitality, because their economy relies on tourism a lot. It's like the #1 place visited in the world for, like, I don't know, for like the last 3-4 years before COVID.
Yeah.
So I hope everything comes back, because I know for a fact that they're hurting. I know without that tourist dollar coming in, they're hurting.
Yeah.
So, but I want to, just before we wrap this up, I wanted to get on something that he did talk about. And it was a term that I learned this week: Geo Arbitrage. What he's doing right now is he's able to live in another country, but able to save his money because he's living so low on his expenses and everything like that. That by itself is a reason to do what he's doing, just on that alone. If I'm making, okay, if there's two people making $10,000, they got the same job. One's living in LA, one's living in Thailand. One's spending $1,500 a month. The other one, he's getting taxed about 50% almost already, because he's living in LA. And then if you don't want to live broke, you're going to have to pay $1,500 a month just for rent. That's not utilities. That's not gas for your car. That's not, man. That's just the bare minimum.
No entertainment, nothing.
Nothing. So when you said, when the term geo arbitrage is be able to take a high income and go into another place that is a lower income, not necessarily to abuse the system, but to live an equal life as somebody else that's paying 3, 4, 5 times more than you are, you know?
Yeah.
So kudos to you on that, man. I really, really admire you about that, because I have seen you. I even came and saw you when you were in Amsterdam, and I know how expensive that is. So I don't see you saving that much money there, but compared to Thailand. So I understand what you're doing, and kudos to you, bro. You got anything else, Jakari, man?
For real, I just wanted to say that too. But I'm gonna let you get this, because I know this is something that came up recently. So I'm gonna ask you this, so people don't attack you. You're doing it the right way. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that you're on the correct visa. Like you said, you came through with the job, you told them the correct way to do it. And I'm sure you're paying your taxes and doing everything. There's been a lot of people who try to do that the wrong way. And I want to say the same thing, respect to actually doing that, because it does help the country out as well when you're there actually paying the taxes and doing what you're supposed to do. So I just want to say the same, man. And I hope to meet you, man. I ain't got to actually meet you in person, man, but I've been hearing about you for years. So I hope to meet you next time we come out there, bro. I just missed you last time we went out there, man. We just missed each other.
Ah, man. Hell yeah. I cannot. Thank you so much for having me on. It's been a pleasure chatting with y'all and being able to talk about all this stuff. There's so much, I just want to hit on a couple of things. Like there's so much that this brand has done for me. And I just want to hit on some of those things. Some of those things are like, it's created an opportunity for diversity and an opportunity for betterment of locals. Like one thing I love about Runway Boys is that it's word of mouth. Like it is me telling my friend, hey, check out this company. Like this clothing line, like what they represent, what they mean, and the opportunity for people to communicate, to have something in common, and to give the ability or give the option for people to travel outside of the US. Like that's not something that many places will do. And Kurt has gone above and beyond. I've seen so many times of saying, hey, if you need your passport, hit me up. I know how to get that shit done.
Yeah.
Like that's not something any other CEO or CFO would do to help out their people. Like I just want to hats off to y'all for what you've done and what you guys have built.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. We're trying, man.
Yeah, make sure
get everybody together, man, and get everybody together under traveling and seeing the world and experiencing the world and meeting people, and that's what's fun. That's what we love to do. You know what I'm saying? So if we gotta help somebody out, if Kurt's helping somebody, you know what I'm saying? That's because we love it. We want to see, hey, he's traveling. Oh, hey, we went there. Yeah,
like
man.
For so many years. Oh, make sure y'all go check out runwayboys.com while we talking about it. www.runwayboys.com. Good plug. But you know what I'm saying? Like maybe about 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I was the one taking all the photos. You know, I was the one traveling and posting on Facebook. I still do it, but I want other people to do it now. I want, the people that travel with us, I want their friends to say, oh man, you always traveling, man. You always gone. I got a couple people that I've seen their travels increase because of Runway Boys, because of Flight Life Group. It doesn't matter who you are. I don't care if you're white, black, short, tall, fat. I don't care. Just come and have some fun. We gonna turn up.
Come have some fun, man.
We gonna get lit. You know what I'm saying? And if you do the Runway Boy side of the house, send me some photos on your vacation. I just want people to expand their horizons and get up off the porch in their neighborhood and see something that they haven't seen before. That is my main goal. Money comes and goes, whatever. But it's all about seeing other people happy now. I'm pretty sure we probably running down on time on the Zoom chat. And so we'll just go ahead and close this out right now. I appreciate everybody watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe to Runway Boys on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Join our Facebook group, Flight Life Group. We always planning trips. Check out runwayboys.com, like I said before, flightlifegroup.com if you want to join us on any vacations. You are more than welcome. And I'm pretty sure sooner or later we are going to come see Scotty Cart in Thailand.
Oh, yeah.
So we out, y'all.
Shirt. I didn't plan this today.
hey, that's what I'm talking about. Internet, look. You know what I'm saying? We connected all over the world. That's what it's all about, y'all. I pulled that dude out of nowhere. That's much love, y'all. All right, y'all. We're gonna end this conversation. All to everybody in YouTube world, peace. Peace.
Runway Boys, we're international.